Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Just so I can make sure, can everybody hear me okay? Is that everybody can hear? Good, good. Okay, excellent. It's 1984. It's August, the sun is shining, and it's the favorite day of the week for me. It's a Saturday. I want to hear that special noise. That's my dad getting out of bed with a crisp pound note, waiting to give it to me for my pocket money. He comes to the top of the stairs. He walks down. He gives me my pound note, the smile on my face. I walk straight to the garage, open up the garage door. My red Rally Grifter is there, sparkling for being cleaned yesterday. I get on my Rally Grifter. I cycle as fast as I can, all the way down to our little village. Then I lived in a little village called Studham, which is very near Whipsnade. Has anyone been to Whipsnade Zoo here? Anyone Whipsnade Zoo? A few people? There were two shops in our little village. On the right-hand side was a post office, and on the left-hand side was the best shop in the world. It was Maisie's Sweet Shop. So I cycled there, got off my bike, put my bike up against the glass, and I walked through the door. The bell went ding-ling-ling, and I walked through. Maisie went, "Morning, Warren." I went, "Morning, Maisie," because my voice hadn't broken then. She said, "Would you like to use your Warren?" I say, "Yes, please, Maisie." She leans round. She grabs a plastic jar. She picks up a little white bag. She scoops the plastic jar into the bag. She turns the bag over and hands it back to me. I give her my pound note. She gives me some change. I then get back on my bike and I cycle as fast as I can all the way home, hoping that maybe one of my friends might be out when I get home. I can give them one of my sweets. I now live in Kent. Down the road from us, we have a cherry farm where you can go and pick your own cherries. So I went there actually, where are we now? Went there on Friday. Went down there, picked a load of cherries, got just over a kilo of cherries, walked up to give them to Chris. Chris went, "There you go, that'll be £6.60. I said, "Okay, great, hold on a minute, Chris." I said, pull out my phone. I go, "Hold on, let me just take a picture." I take a picture of Chris holding the cherries in the cherry farm. I check into the location that I'm in at the moment. I let everybody know about the fantastic cherries, and there were sunburst cherries, that you can get from Chris's farm. And I share that to 60,000 people just like that. Technology has changed everything except what we do in human nature. So what I want to do for you today is, I call this a bit of a workshop because it's going to be slightly interactive. You guys are going to be interacting with me, and I've got some challenges that I'm going to set you. Now, everybody on the table can actually see there's a copy of my book, Think Digital First. Every single person in this room is going to get a copy of that book today. I have plenty more of them down here. I thought I'd just put one down to give you a bit of a flavour of exactly what the book's all about. I've redesigned and rewritten my award-winning book specifically for your industry. Everything inside of this book is focused on you, your business, and your target customers. The cover's very different, the content's very different inside, and it's a limited edition version. You will never be able to get this book again. So please make sure you come and get the book. And I was informed, actually, that there's free drinks for everybody for being with me this afternoon. So, but you can only get the drinks if you grab a book. So please come and get a copy of the book afterwards. So the workshop really is designed, I'm going to be talking about all the different social networks. I've got some strategies, I've got some tools. Guys, please interact with me. You're going to be with me for about an hour. So I don't know what they kind of might have said before, but we've got about an hour with each other today. So please do shout out anything that you want, obviously that's relevant. And I will answer whatever questions that you have around what we're doing. Now, everything that I'm going to be talking about today, all of the presentation that you can see on the screen, there are some downloads to do with the book. Anything that I speak about today is in this link. So if you want to get your pen out, if you want to get your phone out, just type this down, gettalk.at/home and gift. You'll be able to get everything that I speak about and much more. There's some free downloads in there, 50 ways to drive your traffic and more traffic to your business. There's lots of little giveaways inside of this. So just make a note of that. I will be bringing it up again towards the end, just in case you forget it, but gettalk.at/home and gift. Again, it's unique to you guys. It's not social media. When you're thinking about taking your brand and sharing it with the big wide world, it's important that you guys focus on who you are. What is your business? What is the value proposition around what it is that you do within your business? And at that point then of understanding that, so maybe knowing that you've got a website, maybe you're coming to a trade show, whatever it might be, when you know what it is that you've got to say about the business, and you know what type of interaction you want to have with the customer, and I'm going to be sharing some of that with you today, it's at that point then you can then go on to using social media. I am going to be sharing some statistics with you to share with you exactly potentially where your target audience hang out. I did some research earlier with some tools, and you'll see it all on the screen. I put in a particular keyword around your industry, and it told me the best place where you should be hanging out on social media. Which one of those social networks are right for you and for your business. So what I'm going to do for you now is, on your table, you should have a piece of paper. A piece of paper that says, define your brand. Has everybody got that on the table at the moment? There should be a couple of pieces on there. What I want you to do now is, I just want to take 2 minutes. I'm just going to give you 2 minutes to do this. Take that piece of paper out, and I want you to imagine you're sending a tweet out to a potential target customer talking about your brand. So on the screen, I've given you some indicators of what's important. So let me just share with you, and you can think about this as your elevator pitch. It's an American term. You know, the idea is, Richard Branson stands in the elevator next to you, and you've got 2 floors to tell him exactly what your business does, how you help your customers, and what it is that you do. So this is very similar to a little tweet, 140 characters. So I'm going to share with you, I built an e-commerce platform. It was valued at £1 million in less than 2 years. It grew really nicely, but unfortunately then went into liquidation, so I had to close that down. But the strapline for that business was the UK's first social sharing e-commerce platform designed for small to medium-sized companies offering a big brand experience. Inside of that sentence, you've got a USP. We were the UK's first. What was different about it? It was social sharing. What was the product? It was an e-commerce platform. Who was the target market? Small to medium-sized companies. What did they want to get out of using a product like that? They wanted a big brand experience. So what I'd like you to do now, take 2 minutes, think about your business, imagine you're sending a tweet. 2 minutes, go. Write down now, where is your business located? Think about the customers that you have at the moment. How do those customers engage with you as a brand? Do you sell online? Do you have a high street store? Do you have a high street store and you're online? Are you a brand that only sells through wholesale? What does your business do? Then I want you to think about what is unique about the business. It could be that you're the only one in the location that you're in at the moment. All the designs are your designs. Maybe you have a patent. Just write this down. Think about all of those different things. How old are your customers? Where are they based? Are they online? Do you want them to go online and buy from you or come into your high street store? Just write some notes down on this piece of paper. Because then what I'm going to get you to do is to tweet it at me. No, I'm joking, I won't do that. But this is the hardest thing to do, guys. How many people here have built a website for their business? Go on, let me know. How many people here have built a website for their business? Yeah, great. How many people love the journey of putting all the copy on the website? Yeah, no, everyone's got their hands down. It's the hardest thing to do. But it's even harder to send one message, 140 characters, so if somebody saw that message, they would then click on it and come and buy from your brand. It is challenging because you've got to get everything inside of that. What is your value proposition as a business? Who are your target customers? But more importantly, what is the pain of that target customer that you are solving? What's the need that they have for your product? 140 characters. So I'm not going to do this, but what I would normally do is if we had some more time, I would then get you to swap with each other so you could read exactly what that other person thinks about your business. And it is very challenging. But it's also quite exciting speaking with somebody else about how they perceive your business in 140 characters. It gets you thinking about that. This is about social media. You don't have a lot of characters inside of Twitter to talk about what it is that you do. So when you do it, really think about it in a way that engages with that target customer. Now, as we go through the process today, I've got a 5-step process that's going to help you really nail that. And inside of the book, you've got all of the content that will help you understand how to do that as well. So I look at social media in 3 ways. Customer service. I've tweeted to quite a few people today. Who was the guy that was at Heathrow this morning? So you managed to, So you managed to make it in Heathrow today. Great. So from a customer service perspective, I was concerned. Sorry, what's your name? ID. So I was concerned that ID wouldn't be able to make it today. So what was my promise to you or my message? Okay. Oh. I said, I promise to hold you a copy of my book just in case you don't manage to come today. No problem. Think about it from a customer. Have we ever met before, ID? No. Think about it from a customer service perspective. It doesn't matter whether it's somebody that you don't know, or whether it is a potential prospect of yours or a customer of yours. Because when you keep those customers, social media enables you to have fantastic customer retention because you keep engaging with those customers after they bought from you. Then naturally comes the marketing of your brand. And then out of that comes sales. So think about it in that 3-step process for you and for your business. Now, I said I was going to share some statistics with you about social media. What you're looking at on the screen at the moment is a bit of a breakdown for each of the different social networks. So as you can see here, we've got Facebook, they're now close to about 1.5 billion, 25 to, I think it's at 54. You've got 60% female. How many people here are getting more and more frustrated with Facebook? Just let me know. That was so quick. It's getting very, very frustrating. I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to share with you my strategy, and then you will see me implement it after today. And you will see the power of engaging with somebody, staying brand consistent, but more importantly, continue adding value. And you can do that actually in a couple of different social networks. I'm going to share that with you. You've got Pinterest. 60% of, well, actually it's more than 60%, nearly 80% of women are using Pinterest as a way to engage with their influencers, customers, wannabe brands, whatever it might be. So if your business sells to 30+ women, Pinterest should be a social network that you're on. So to give you a little bit more breakdown in that and to give you a bit of an idea, we've got, so how many people here have got age group sort of, let's say 35 to 44? They've got a demographic 35 to 44, so there's quite a few people. So we've got, you've got Twitter, you've got Google+. I'm going to share some stuff with you around Google+. I don't use Google+ in a way as a social network. I use it to drive targeted traffic through to my website. You've got Pinterest, and from a business perspective, you've got LinkedIn. So as we go through today, I am going to be sharing with you some tools, and these tools gives us answers to questions. This is a generic breakdown. It's important that you in the industry that you're in, which is why I rewrote the book and redesigned the book for you to help you understand that information. Now, this was put together by a company called Searchmetrics, and what they did, they analyzed the way that Google is now looking at our website. So every single person that has a website here today has been analyzed by this company, Searchmetrics, and Searchmetrics is telling us which factors are important to Google. Getting onto the front page of Google by natural organic search is the holy grail to being a profitable business. Now, Searchmetrics says that actually, if you have a Google Plus account, that's worth a ranking of 0.35. if you have a Google Plus account, it gives you a ranking of 0.35. So further down the page here, we're looking at backlinks from other places. So when your business is spoken about by somebody else, and they put a link to your website, that's a link from their website to your website. That is how companies used to get on the front page of Google. It's not now. You can see here, we're talking about Google+. It's talking about Facebook shares. So when we get into Facebook, when I talk a little bit more, I'm going to share a little bit around their algorithm. I wrote a blog last week because Facebook on their blog released exactly how their algorithm works. So I wrote a blog about it, so I'll be sharing that with you. But really think about, this is how powerful social media is for your online business. It isn't just about you finding a customer online and selling to them. This is about your overall ranking of your website to get higher and higher based on specific search terms to get onto the front page of Google. I'm going to share with you how I do that with Google+. Feedly. Has anybody heard of Feedly here? Anyone using Feedly here? Of course you are. Do you love it? Good. Feedly is everything to me. Every single piece of content that I'm interested in sharing with my target audience, I've taken it and put it into Feedly. Feedly is the place that I go to before I even start sharing content online. So I'm with you guys today, and I've automated all of my content to go out online. That link that I shared with you earlier, that will be going out in about 40 minutes' time. So if you're following me on Twitter, @WarrenKnight, please take pictures. Don't get my bum in it. Feedly enables you to take a website that you like. So you can see here, I researched jewelry. I went into Feedly, I typed in the keywords jewelry, and it brought up jewelry websites that write content on a regular basis. The hardest thing and I'm going to take my hat off of being up here today, put my hat on as a business owner. The hardest thing for us as business owners is to be consistent with relevant content online. Where do we find that information so we can keep communicating to our audience? Feedly is the place where I find all of my information. So you'll notice here, I typed in a keyword jewelry, and it immediately brought up websites that write valuable content around that specific keyword. So whatever industry you're in, whatever type of products that you're selling at the moment, you can go to feedly.com, start typing in your keywords, and it will bring you up a selection of bloggers. You've got the Jewelry Edition, you've got carrotbox.com, jewelry making, Etsy. You can see how many members they've got. They've got over 1,000 here, we've got 800 there. That means there is a lot of people that's reading their content. But they're reading that content because it's valuable to them. When you've got content to share, then you can take that and put that onto social media. Now, towards the end, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can do social media in just 30 minutes a day. 30 minutes a day, you can do your social media, and that's it. But you can't do it in 30 minutes a day if you haven't done your research. So Feedly is and it's a free tool to use. It doesn't cost anything to use at all. How many people like the idea of Feedly? Just let me know. Excellent, very good. Tag board. Who's a tag board? Any tag boards here? Yes, you're nodding. Can you see on the screen at the moment what I was talking about when I've typed in a keyword, and what tag board does, it looks at all of the different social networks, it brings it into a really nice visual display for you to see which of the social networks are mentioned the most using my keyword. So what you've got on the screen at the moment, I typed in the word jewelry, and you've got these little icons. You've got Pinterest icon, Instagram icon, Instagram. You've got one Facebook and another Facebook there, and there's a Twitter and a Facebook. So when you look at the screen at the moment, based on that one keyword, it's Instagram is the social network where your target audience and maybe your competitors are communicating the most to your customers. Does that make sense to everybody? It's the place to go to because that's where people are talking about it the most. It differs. It could be Google+, it could be Facebook, it could be Twitter. But when you go into it, and again, completely free of charge, doesn't cost anything to use tag boards, for me it has two main reasons for using it. One, to define which social network is right to communicate on. And two, and this is all done through hashtags, by the way, and two, it gives me a whole list of other hashtags that I can use for my business. So if you're struggling with hashtags, and I see a lot of people nodding their heads around hashtags, if you're struggling around what hashtag to use for your business, why not go and take a look at what other people are using, and then you choose which ones are important to you and to your business. So you can see on the screen here, these are all different hashtags based around the word jewelry. Some of them will be relevant, some of them won't be relevant. It's up to you, when we go back to defining your business in 140 characters, to decide which one of those hashtags are right for you and for your business. So one, which social network are those hashtags being used the most? In other words, where are my target customers? And then two, it helps me get a better understanding of what other hashtags are used within my industry. Who knows the answer to this question? Who knows the answer? Anybody? Just shout it out. Yes. Images. It's very simply images. It gets more interaction. So when you're sharing your content, make sure you've got some nice visuals around your product, around what you're doing at the moment. I sat at the back of the room earlier and took a picture of my book and all of you guys sitting here, and I went and shared that. Because it enables people to visualize exactly what's going on. So another great tool that I've got for you, and the reason why I'm sharing these tools with you is I can promise you I've used hundreds of tools in the last, we'll be coming up to 8.5 years of doing social media. I'm giving you the best tools, the majority of them are completely free of charge to use. It's called Canva. How many people use Canva? Do you love Canva? It's great, isn't it? Canva is like your own designer sitting in front of your computer screen. It enables you to, if anybody's been on my website, if anyone's been on any of my webinars or any of my training days, whatever it might be, every single picture that you will see on my website has been built inside of Canva. Every single one. And so on that, because I do a lot of online training around my business, who would like a copy of one of my DVDs? Who would like to put your hand up if you want a copy of my DVDs? Okay, great. Right, so what we've got here, this is Chicago. This is one of my DVDs. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but Cameron Zeta-Jones, she's really good in it. There you go. Canva has lots of templates. Whether you're going to do a Twitter post, whether you want a new Facebook header picture, it has all of the sizes built into it. You can see at the top. It's even got infographics. All you have to do is go into it, change the colors, bring in your own images. You can even bring in your own fonts. I've got my own fonts for my business. I've got a brand style guide, which is what I talk about in the book. So I've got 3 of my own fonts. I can bring those fonts into Canva, so when I'm communicating online, I have complete brand consistency in everything that I do. You'll also notice the colors. I've got my red, a specific red that I've got for my book and my branding, and that red is built into Canva. Now, that is a paid version of it to get the font and the color image. But outside of that, there are reds, there are lots of fonts inside of it, and it's completely free of charge to use. So whether you're looking at running a competition, doing a Facebook post, doing a flyer for your business, whatever it might be, the quality's brilliant that you can download from here. It's completely free of charge, and it's all done through your browser. Who likes the idea of Canva now? Very good, we love that one. Okay, so top 6 social networks for you and for your business. Who here tweeted with me earlier? Who's sort of been tweeting with me today? Okay, come here. Come, give us a hug. We love a little hug. Oh, thanks for tweeting with me. That's what social media can do for you. We've never met, have we? Look at the smile. You can't see the smile on the face. I can. That's what it does. Engage with people. Have a conversation with them. Let them know where you're going, what you're doing, how you're getting there, whether you're at Heathrow or not. Think about it that way. It isn't just about, oh, it's Twitter, oh, it's Pinterest. It's much more than that. It puts a smile on people's faces because you can give people a hug when you've never met them before. It allows you to do that because you think you already know them. Pinterest. So, I'm going to share it with you now. I have a strategy that I use. And you're going to be part of this strategy because you're actually going to, hopefully, see it afterwards. So, how many people here have an online store? Just let me know you've got an online business. Okay, excellent. And those people that have an online business, do you collect email addresses from those people? You collect email addresses from those people? Okay, excellent. So we're just focusing on social media at the moment. Whilst Google does allow you to do this as well, I'm not going to go down that road today. We're just going to focus on social media. Inside of Pinterest and inside of Facebook, there is a feature which is called Custom Audience. This feature, Custom Audience, allows you, as the business owner of this email list, and I have about 12,000 people on my email list, you can take that email list and you can put it into Pinterest and you can put it into Facebook. You can load up a little advert, and that advert will be focused on that specific person whose email address it is that's inside of that social network. Now, whilst I mentioned I've got 12,000 people on my list, I did that inside of Facebook, and it brought up 5,400 people. So 5,400 people, based on the email address that they've given me, I know are on Facebook, because Facebook tells me that. So after today, what I would do is, I will send you an email with all the information on that we're talking about today. You've got the link there that you can use. And then what you'll see is, depending on which social network that you use, now also, I'll let you know that this is Pinterest allows you to do that. If your target audience hang out inside of Pinterest and that customer's bought from you and then they've forgotten about you, you haven't emailed them, you haven't sent them a message, you haven't communicated with them on social media, that advert will then follow that person around Pinterest, reminding them of you about your business. Now, inside of Facebook, you can set it so that it doesn't appear lots of times. So I did this recently and set it so it only appears 3 times. I speak to other internet marketeers, they say 5 times. I'm like, no, that's way too much. Let it appear 3 times and let the customer decide what they want to do. So after today, you might see a little picture of me appear on Facebook, a little picture of me in Pinterest. But what I want you to do is think about the power of that for your business. How can you re-engage with your customers using these social networks at a price that is far less than trying to find a new customer? Remember, this is only about your current customers. This is customer retention. Bring a customer back to come and buy from you is much cheaper than what it is to try and find a new customer to buy from you. So these tools are here to help you re-engage with your audience. And Pinterest allows you to do that inside of the actual paid platform, and Facebook does as well. It's called Custom Audience. Twitter. I love Twitter. 26,000 people on Twitter. It's my favorite tool to use. It is the tool that I use and the one tool that I use really well, coupled with LinkedIn. Because some of the other social networks are getting harder and harder, like I mentioned Facebook earlier. They're getting harder and harder to engage with your target audience. So inside of Twitter, one of the great features that you have is that you can pin to the top. So when you're launching a new product, or you're going to an event where you know people are, or you did an article that went out live, lots of people retweeted it, maybe it went a little bit viral, and so you can take that and pin it to the top, and it can stay there forever. Whether it's 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, you can decide what you want to do. So you've got a beautiful piece of marketing area here. Put your best foot forward and talk about your brand in a way, like I mentioned earlier, the 140 characters, that gets people to really understand what it is that you do and how you help them. This little feature inside of Twitter is really powerful. Now, Twitter does have a paid platform as well, but I've used it. I wouldn't recommend it at the moment. It's okay, but I didn't get a good return on investment financially for using it. And when I talk about using these paid platforms, I don't spend a lot of money, a tenner a day. I'm not talking about hundreds or thousands of pounds, a little bit of money to re-engage with your target customers to get them to come back and buy from you. It's far cheaper, as I mentioned, than what it is to go and find a new customer. Twitter also has some great analytics. Listen to it, use it. What is the best time of day that your target audience is listening to you and engaging with you? You'll see there's like a little, tells you over here exactly, what time of day your audience are engaging with you. I happened to write an article that really did go viral. The BBC spoke about it, had 1,000 hits on my website in less than 2 hours. It went viral online, and that's why you're seeing that spike. That's an unusual spike for me because it got picked up over in the States as well, and that's why that late in the evening spike happened. It's very unusual for me. My spike for me is round about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when my spikes normally happen inside of Twitter, but this is quite unusual. But know why these things happen. I've got a huge spike in my analytics, which you'll see later, around that happening. Facebook. Video, video, video. It's finally here. Everyone's been talking about 2015 was the year of video. 2016 really is the year of video. I've got a high street customer who weren't really engaging with their online audience, had a nice little following. I set her a challenge. I said, one day when a customer comes in, just grab that customer. When they come to buy a product, just do quickly get the customer to talk about you, your business, why they love the product so much. Might be 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and post that. Rather than taking a picture of a pair of shoes, putting it into their Facebook page, which is what they normally would do, and maybe their mum might like it. Video is here. Facebook has got video live. It enables you to be able to share videos around what you've got going on at the moment. If people want to watch it, they can. If people don't want to watch it, they don't have to. Use these tools. The technology is here now for you to really engage with your target customers. Now, that's what, so the reason why I shared that story with you earlier is because she hated being in front of the camera. Not a problem I have, but she hates being in front of the camera. So that's why I said, just speak to the customer, be the person behind the camera. Go ahead, why have you come in the shop? Why do you keep coming back and buying from me? Let the customer do the talking. So powerful. Becomes a fantastic testimonial. You can then go and put it on your website. You can then go and put it in YouTube, put it on Twitter, Facebook, whatever you want. But think about video more and more. It's very powerful. And the beautiful thing is, in this day and age, you don't have to go into a studio and make it look gorgeous. It's about being real. People buy from people. Technology now is allowing us to do that even more. LinkedIn. Who's on LinkedIn here? Quite a few people. Who has a 100% LinkedIn profile? Nobody. Guys, come on. LinkedIn is the largest B2B social network. It just got bought by Microsoft for $13.2 billion in cash. Cash. Why would they do that? 430 million people. It's about 60 billion. I think it's 30, I can't remember. But I think it's about 30 million people in the UK are using it. It is the best place to engage with your business customers. And I have a lot of people go, well, I sell directly to, I'm a B2C business, business to customer business. So where are your suppliers? Where do you get your stationery from? What about the venue that you're in at the moment? Have you got a question? No? Oh, okay. You're agreeing with me. It is the best place to be. So what I do is I write content on my Warren Knight website, and I won an award for that, which is great. UK blogger. Out of 3,000 blogs, I came third in the UK. So I write a lot of content on my website. But then what I do is I syndicate that content on multiple platforms. I always do something once and then amplify it wherever I can where the value is going to be seen. So what you're seeing on the screen at the moment, one of my blogs over here, how to use social media to get sales. 4,300 people saw it, nearly 900 people liked it, and 57 people commented on it. I never get that sort of engagement on my website, ever. It's because I don't have 400 million people coming to my website every day. I take my content that I've written once and syndicate it onto other platforms that's relevant for that target audience. LinkedIn Pulse is one. Facebook Notes is another one. How many people have got a WordPress website? Let me know, you've got a WordPress website? It's quite a few people. There's a fantastic little app that allows you to do a blog on your website, and it will automatically push it through to your Facebook Notes page. So Facebook Notes is like writing an article inside of Facebook where 1.5 billion people hang out. And it automates it for you. But LinkedIn Pulse, again, is a great place to show what it is that you do and how you can help your customers. And let everybody else make articles go viral. Google Plus. Who's on Google Plus here? There's only a few hands going up. I want you to think about Google Plus from a search engine optimization perspective. I'm not going to go into detail around that right now because I'm going to share with you exactly what that looks like. I've done more analysis within your market. I'm going to take you through kind of a three-step process around that. But what I want you to think about Google Plus is it is Google's version of a social network. It has changed, for your industry especially. Google Plus now has this thing called collections. So the same way Pinterest has boards that you can pin things into, Google Plus now has a thing called collections that allows you to pin things into your collection. All they do is take all the best stuff from all the other different social networks and then put it into Google Plus. So for your industry, specifically for retail, it's really, really powerful. If you go to my Google Plus page, you'll see I've got collections for social media, SEO, pay-per-click, content marketing, all the things that are relevant to me. But you'll notice that each one of those collections has a keyword in it. Every product that gets put, as in product article, that gets put into that collection is relevant to that collection and then has more keywords in it. So what you're looking at on the screen at the moment, I did a search, typed in social media speaker. My Google Plus account came up on page 1 of Google. Not my website. It does, it's actually higher than this. But it cost me a lot of money to get there by an SEO agency. This cost me nothing. And not only did it cost me nothing, somebody else saw the article and then put it onto their Google Plus page. So I now own 3 places on the front page of Google for those keywords. Social media speaker. Does everybody see how powerful that is? If you think about it for your business, which is why I wanted to challenge you right at the very beginning with your 140 characters, when you know what your business does and the keywords around your business, these social networks, so Google Plus, you can appear on the front page of Google. Twitter, you can appear on the front page of Google. Pinterest, you can appear on the front page of Google. I challenge you to go back at the end of when you finish the show, type in some keywords around your industry, click on images, and I promise you, you will see an image that's inside of Pinterest that's got that keyword. That brand has taken those keywords, put it into the picture and the copy inside of Pinterest, and they've just appeared on the front page of Google. These social networks are not only a place where you can engage and hang out and have two-way conversations and find out people are coming from Heathrow, give great customer service, give a hug. It's more than that, which is why I want you to really understand the power of it by sharing this data with you. Instagram. Always been very challenging, got bought by Facebook for $1 billion, only had 9 employees, and it was a loss-making technology company because they knew the power of moving towards mobile. It's taken them a little while now, but they've now got to the place where, as a small business, we can have an Instagram business page. So with that tool that I shared with you earlier, Tagboard, about 80 to 85% of the people communicating with that specific hashtag were from Instagram. So when it comes to your business, and I have a lot of different clients, and they all have this similar, shall we say, concern, is they don't want to be the face of the brand. They want the brand to do the talking. So if you are that type of character and you don't want to be standing out in the front and be the face of your brand, now Instagram is allowing you to do that and actually have a business account, which does allow you to look it looks a little bit like Facebook, but to really get people to understand what your business does, send them through to a business page rather than your personal page. My favorite tool. Who uses Hootsuite here? Okay, it's only a few people, just you guys at the front. Come up here. No, I'm joking. Hootsuite, love it. It's a fantastic tool. It's a free tool to use. There is a paid version of it, which is about $9, $10. But what it enables me to do is what I just shared with you earlier. While I'm standing up here today, I can schedule content to go out at a specific time of day. I can not only schedule that content to go out at a specific time of day, I can schedule it to go out to 4 different social networks all at the same time. So I have 2 different Twitter accounts. I've got about 4 Google Plus accounts. I have a LinkedIn personal page. I've got a LinkedIn business page. I've got a LinkedIn group. And then I'm a member of lots of different LinkedIn groups. I can send one message to 20 different LinkedIn groups just like that using Hootsuite. So it isn't just about, it's a social media dashboard ultimately, but more importantly, it's about you saving time, which is, as we're getting closer, you'll understand how it can help you do social media in just 30 minutes a day. It's by doing your research, knowing which of the social networks are important to you, and then when you have a tool like Hootsuite, it enables you to spend some quality time thinking about what you're going to be talking about over the week and sharing that content to go out at a specific time of day. So what you can see on the screen here, these are called streams. So you've got a stream here called Home and Gift. I use Hootsuite to listen into conversations. If I'm speaking here today, and you guys, about 60, 70 people in the room, you're my target audience. I've got products that you'll love. So if I listen into conversations around what's happening at Home and Gift, I can find people and communicate with them and add value to them that will hopefully then get them to come and buy from me. You can listen in through hashtags. You can listen in through Twitter handles. Think about it from a competitor perspective. Type in your competitor's Twitter account and watch what they're doing. Listen into their conversations. Are their customers angry at them? Because if they are, it gives you a fantastic opportunity to jump in and tell them all about your amazingly beautiful, wonderful business because you've sent them a tweet with 140 characters. So, it's a social media dashboard that allows you to share your content across 4 different social networks, but you can have different accounts inside of those social networks. I've got 2 Twitter, 4 Google+, loads of LinkedIn. I can schedule it to go out at different times a day. And it's also got a really nice analytics tool inside of it as well. So it lets me know which pieces of my content have gone viral. Now, that might not necessarily be my content. That might be the content that I found in Feedly. I thought, yep, my target audience would love that. I've scheduled it to go out. That piece of content got retweeted half a dozen times, got liked 12 times, whatever it might be. And I think to myself, what was it about that article that made people do that? Was it the headline? Was it the person who wrote it? Was it the content? It helps me get a better understanding of what my target audience want to know more about, which then helps me redefine what it is that I'm doing within my business. So just in case, if you haven't used Hootsuite at the moment, go to hootsuite.com. There is a free version that allows you to have 3 social networks in there. So you can have your Twitter, your Facebook, and your Google Plus if you wanted. If you want more than that, you have to upgrade to the paid version, but it will get you started. How many people like Hootsuite? Very good. Yeah, Canva wins hand down all the time. Creating content. So I've touched on the different social networks, the reason, who you are, what you do, the different social networks. Now I want to share with you how you can create content for your business. And again, a lot of this is inside of the book. I go into a lot more detail, so please come and grab a copy. There are 4 different types of users that use the internet. You're probably looking at the screen going, yeah, that's me. I do searching. I'm a bit of a voyeur. I want to go and see what everyone else is doing. I spend a lot of my time searching. 67% of your customers expect you as a brand to be using social media. They expect you to be using it. So the 4 different types. First one, the searcher, the person who's going out there and looking. They're looking to buy something. They're looking to find a brand like you. Maybe they're looking to find an article or an influencer that will just give them some answers to some questions that they've got by following that influencer. So if you as a business find someone within your industry and go and share that content, and that person sees that as value to them, they're going to remember where they found that. And they might come back and then start talking about your products. They go, oh, it's a great business. They might not have bought from you yet, but because you added value to them, they'll then go and amplify your content for you. They'll go and push it out. They're not necessarily the type of target customer who likes to have then a 2-way conversation. They want to talk about being at Heathrow and then not reading a tweet, but that's okay. They want to have a 2-way conversation with you. Some people do, in the moment, they will. Other people will want you, they will want to build trust with you first. They've found out that they like you. The trust quite isn't there yet because you're not consistent with your communication. You get consistent with your communication, the trust is there. Then they'll have a 2-way conversation with you. And at that point then, they'll buy. Now, there's a great tool in Google which is called Path to Purchase. I use this tool a lot because it really helps me get a better understanding of what we do as human beings and how we use Google. So in this tool, I put in small business based in the UK, and I want to know what they do inside social media. 9% of people that use Google end up buying something from a message inside of a social network. That's the path to purchase. A user uses social media, they go through these 4 different actions potentially, and then they come and buy. 9% of those people come and do that from the first place of using Google. Research, research, research. You have it inside of the book, so don't worry. It is all inside of here. I've broken down some SEO keywords for you. What you're looking at on the screen at the moment, I just focused on photo frame. I thought I'd take one business and focus on that. But I want you to think about your business when you're looking at this. This is stage 1 of what you need to be doing when it comes to search engine optimization, but also social media optimization. The social media optimization for me comes out of what you do for Google ultimately. Google is the largest search engine in the world. If you don't have the right keywords on your website, Google will not pass you the perfect customer because the search term they just used could be wedding picture frame. I put that in there because I'm getting married in 2 weeks. Wedding photo frame. If you don't have those keywords on your website, How does Google know when somebody's looking for a wedding photo frame to send that person over to your website? Or to send them your Google Plus page, or your tweet, or your Pinterest image? This is where you should start. This is what goes onto the back of your website. This is what's called the metadata. But you've got to do your research first. So there's a free tool to use called Google's Keyword. Hold on, lost it for a minute. Google Research Keyword Tool. Google's Keyword Research Tool. It's a free tool to use, and it gives you all of this data. And I shared this process with you, and you can get this as a download as well from our website. So this is stage one. Know what your business does. Understand who your target customers are and what those keywords are. The next stage that we go to is actually defining that for a specific landing page on our website. So what you're looking at on the screen at the moment is a specific landing page focused on custom photo frames. That's one page on my website where I want those specific keywords and search terms for my business. So you've got custom photo frames is the search term. We put that into the SEO title, into the description. Then we put it on the page of the website. The two most important things for Google is your SEO title and your SEO description. Google couldn't really give a damn about how pretty your words are on your website if you haven't done the metadata. That's where it looks first. That's where it gives you the ranking. At that point then, it's looking for consistency. So it will go title, description, copy on the page. Tick, tick, tick. If your website only has lovely words on it in the way that you think about your business, that is not going to drive the traffic to your website. Because the way that I would think about wanting to buy a wedding photo frame would be different to how somebody else might type in photo frame for a wedding. I still want to get to the same website, but we think about it very differently. When we know what that difference is, then we can take those keywords and put them in different places on our website accordingly. Does that make sense to everybody? So just some statistics for you. So how many people here blog? They write articles on their website? Okay, there's only a few of you. Again, this is a Google algorithm. If you don't have fresh content on your website, Google will not pick up your website with its robots. It just won't. Another big shift as well is if your website's not mobile friendly. If your website's not mobile friendly and you don't write fresh content, Google's not going to drive any traffic to your website. You could pay a lot of money, but your cost to pay to drive traffic would be more expensive than a website that does do those things. Google's all about us as individuals. If we as a brand give to the customer, Google will give us back. Our cost to put an advert in Google will reduce because we're being consistent around what we're doing. I do recommend everybody writes fresh content on their website. You can go to a website called freelancer.co.uk and go and find a content writer that specializes in your industry, that's based in the UK. You'll pay £10, £15 for an article. Another one, People Per Hour. 2 different websites you can go to go and find people to help you in your business, whether that's to do your social media management for you or whether that's to write content for you. So what I say here is if you're going to write an article on your website, make sure it isn't less than 400 words. And if you're going to write that article on your website, make sure that 3% of those words are your keywords. So if you're going to write an article about custom photo frames, make sure you've got custom photo frames in there. Custom photo frames for weddings. Custom photo frames for brisks. I don't know. So really think about all the different ways that search term can be used and put them onto the article. Got to have about 12 of those words on there, 3%. So this is my 5-step formula for you. This is where you will not only get picked up inside of the social networks, but also in Google as a search engine. Start off understanding your keywords and make sure the keywords is in the URL structure of your website. So if it's custom photo frames, the URL must say custom photo frames. If your URL at the moment says 876543221, whatever it might be, Google will not pick that up. So make sure it's in the URL. Make sure it's in the title of that page. That's the specific landing page, custom photo frames. Make sure then it's on the copy on the page, and then it sits behind the website, so the metadata. At that point then, start sharing your website's specific landing pages and product pages onto social media. That is where the power comes for you. Because Google sees it on your website. Whilst Facebook is a closed platform, none of the content gets pushed out of Facebook. LinkedIn's a closed platform. None of the content gets pushed out onto Google. Google does send its robots over your Facebook page. It looks at your personal page on LinkedIn. And it references everything back to your online store. If all of those things aren't ticked, and these are all free things that you can do, there isn't anything that I'm telling you today that actually costs you money as a stage one. To move forward, paid adverts, you could find someone, an SEO company to do the extra work for you. But this is everything that you can do yourself. So this is a 5-step process to really help your website get a higher ranking and to get better engagement inside social media. Brain freeze. I always used to struggle in regards to when I was writing content for my website. So this is a tool that I used many years ago. It helps me come out of that brain freeze. It's called Portent's Idea Generator. And basically what you do is you take a couple of your keywords of your business and you put them into Portent's Idea Generator, and it comes up with titles for you. So if you're struggling to write content on your website or to think about that message that you want to put out to Facebook, how am I going to get engaged with my customer? So for this, I typed in photo frame and how photo frames can get your heart's desire. Well, for me, it was actually Tinder. It wasn't a photo frame. But it gives you a headline to use. And if you keep pressing that little circle, it comes up with another one and another one and another one. So it's a free tool to use, Portent's Idea Generator. Start thinking about writing content, and this will help you just to come up with a title. Now, you can change words here. It just gives you a bit of an idea. There's loads of different kind of titles that you can use here. It is a case of getting a little bit creative around those keywords, but it just helps you come out of that brain freeze mode. Design a plan for success. So I'm going to take you into the planning part now. Where are we? I know you're waiting for that, PIMS. I can see on your faces. If you want to be successful, you've got to make sure that you've got a plan. That plan's got to start with the business. How are you going to go to market with your business? Even if you have an existing business that maybe you're going through a refreshing phase, maybe you're rebranding, you're building a new website, whatever it might be, have a plan for what you're doing. Make sure when you go to market, you know what that plan looks like. I go into a lot more detail in my book in that. Out of that comes your marketing plan. What are you going to do over the next 90 days to let your target audience know about your product or your new business or your revitalized business? I only focus on the next 90 days. Having a content calendar is very powerful. What is happening in the UK, in your industry, over the next 90 days, and jump on that. Home and gift. At the end, somebody wrote a blog all about the speakers that are coming to the show. That was pre the show. Now, I've got tools that listen, so I was able to pick that up and then go and tweet about it. You write something after the show. Have a goal for what you're doing and put that into your marketing plan. Whatever you're going to do in that marketing plan, you want to get sales. Without sales, you don't have a profitable business. So go-to-market strategy, have a plan around what marketing you're going to be doing. Make sure you've got a sales process. Don't bother putting in a marketing plan if you're then going to go on holiday for 2 weeks. Design it in a way that enables you to really engage with those customers, add value to them, and get them coming back from you over and over again. And then it's the retention, where social media is so powerful. Define communication. So what you're seeing on the screen at the moment is a swimwear brand, very niche. It's a mastectomy swimwear brand. They're very niche and they sell globally. I took this brand from £500 a month to £10,000 a month online with this process. By simply understanding the target customers, using the right keywords and being consistent with a message. So we did that by defining what we're going to say. On a Monday, we're going to talk about a product. On a Tuesday, we'll do the blog. On a Wednesday, we'll talk about something to do with the industry. On a Thursday, we might talk about another product. When you know what it is that you're doing, it then gives you a purpose for doing it. You've got Feedly, where the research is. You're going to talk about something around your industry on a Wednesday, on Facebook. You know where to go and find it. You'll also see that there's various different hashtags down there. Again, Tagboard allowed us to understand what their target customers use as a hashtag to help them. So just define your business. Have a plan. So this is my 90-day plan. Again, it's all in the book, guys. You can download it all from our website. This is a very simple 90-day plan. What are you going to do in June, July, August? What blogs you're going to write? What competition you're going to run in Facebook? What products you're going to put on sale? Whatever it might be. So that at least then you know what you're doing. And, you know, I had a tech company, had staff, had to put that into liquidation. I now don't employ anybody. I have 5 virtual assistants. One of those virtual assistants only cost me $3 an hour. But when I have a plan, each one of those individuals knows exactly what's going on, even though they're not in my office. I have a 7-day social media plan for you, and it looks like this. This is just day 1. When you've done your research, it takes, to fill in 7 days worth of content, if you've done your research, takes 1 hour. Now, when you get started, it might take a little bit longer. But this is a 7-day plan where you can take content and put it inside of it. When you look at 7 days worth of content, you go, oh, yeah, I'm not staying consistent now. I missed that day out. Why am I talking about that when I'm talking about this? It helps you visualize exactly what you're going to be doing. But more importantly, it takes 1 hour to do it. So imagine 7 days worth of content being pushed out using Hootsuite, and you've scheduled it to go out for the whole week. You don't have to worry about social media again. It takes 1 hour to do a 7-day plan. So I'm just going to break down for you the 30 minutes that I mentioned earlier. I want you to be able to do social media in just 30 minutes a day. It's about roughly how much time I spend on social media. So when you look at designing 7 days worth of content in 1 hour, if you break that down over the whole week, you're looking at around about 9 minutes a day. But if you're doing it in one go, get focused on one thing, get it done, and move on. It's not a case of jumping in and out with social media. You want to stay consistent around your message. So 1 hour, do it on a Sunday, on a Monday, whatever it might be. First thing Monday morning, you write 7 days worth of content, you don't have to worry about it. But if you break that down, it's around about 9 minutes a day. Then, when my clicker decides to work, each day, in the morning, afternoon, in the evening, just jump back into, now Hootsuite has a fantastic app that you can plug into your phone. So when you're out and about, you can jump into Hootsuite and you can go to your streams and you go, right, yep. Is it AB? What was the name, sorry? ID. ID, I was driving up here, pulled over, enjoyed the sun for a bit. ID chatted, she was in Heathrow. So I quickly just got back to ID. Use these tools, it helps you save time. So I recommend just a couple of minutes a day doing that. You don't need to spend a lot of time. This is part of your 30 minutes a day, remember, because the content's already been pushed out. This is the customer service that you're giving. Who's talking to you and engage back with them? Spend a bit of time to retweet some content. So the influencers in your industry, if you want them to talk about your new product, you've got to take the first step of sharing their content. Think about it from the law of reciprocation. If you spend the time to talk about an influencer, share some of his stuff, or her stuff online. And then, when you've got a new product that's being launched, you go, hey, Jessica, would you mind writing about our new product? Yeah, of course. You share my stuff all the time. Why wouldn't I want to do that? Thank you very much. Free PR. So take a little bit of time just retweeting that information. Now, I built my 26,000 followers, not paying for a single one of them, but actually spending my time to follow. How many people here I followed and then tweeted at? Was there how many people here? Yeah. So if you have a look at my Twitter stream, I've got my virtual assistant, which is over in the Philippines, after giving her a plan to go and communicate with people on Home and Gift, to go and tweet at people, let them know I'm going to be here. But what she does is she follows them first and then lets them know I'm going to be here. So follow 5 people a day. Just get into the habit of doing that. Your account will slowly start to grow. And then the rest of the time, analyze that information. Take a bit of time to understand why something spiked, why you're not getting any clicks, what time of day are you sending your information out on. There's best times of day. I've got lots of articles on my website, what best times of day to push out on the various different social networks. They're great as a starting point. You've got to work out where your target audience are and where they hang out with you, those best times of day. But to help you with that, I have a social media analytics dashboard, which I'm going to share with you in a minute. But I want you to think about this as far as how those people, and I'll use the term, it's a funnel. It's called a marketing funnel. It's a funnel that goes like that. You put loads of people in at the top, then those people come through that funnel. They know, like, and trust you, and at the bottom, they buy from you. And so when you throw people in at the top of the funnel, this is what they do. They go around this process. They consider, they evaluate, and then they buy. And the great thing is, then they become a brand advocate of yours. They then start talking about your business on your behalf. And that costs you nothing. Somebody bought a book on my website, delivered it to her. She went and spoke about it to her audience. And then one of her friends went, oh, great, thanks very much. I bought the book, love it. That was great. I didn't do anything. Let your customers do the talking on your behalf. So this is the social media analytics dashboard that I mentioned earlier. I can send this through to you. All you need to do is just send me your email address, and it's a link that I send through to you. And this will automatically open up inside of your Google Analytics dashboard. It's a social media dashboard that basically lets you know where your traffic's coming from all of your different social networks. So let's do this. You'll see here, now this is quite unusual. You notice this is literally, I did this, yesterday. I did this yesterday. I got about 6,500 people come to my website. 65% of those people come from social media. And this is a breakdown here of exactly where they come from. Now, this is quite unusual at the moment because I did the remarketing campaign that I mentioned inside of Facebook to bring those customers back to my website. So that's where that traffic's coming from. And then I've just finished one of my programs, which is 21-day LinkedIn system. I've just finished that, and I have a lot of interaction going on at that time. So there are 2 reasons why that traffic's looking like that. But normally, Twitter's right up top, because that's the platform that I love using the most. But for you, it's about understanding which one of these social networks are right for you and understanding why things change. If you take an action on one, as I did with Facebook and LinkedIn, it's going to shift. If I didn't see that shift, I'd be very worried, especially when I'm paying for that traffic. Like I said, I don't spend more than $10 a day, but I'm remarketing my old customers back again. So if you'd like a copy of this, I will happily send it through to you, no problem at all. So this is the link again, just in case you didn't catch it earlier. It's get.talk.at/home and gift. Everything I've spoken about today, the downloads, the tools, the presentation, everything's inside of it.